Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. Welcome to another exciting episode of So Frail Conversations. And today, as you've seen from the title, we're gonna be talking about grooming. I know. Let me apologize. It's been a minute, y'all. I don't think y'all understand. Like acclimating to this new area that I'm in, and getting like situated and shit. Like it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So like I haven't even been tapped in enough to even get information, to get insight, to even drop podcast episodes. So that's largely why I just haven't, been doing them. And then, like I said, because of the blockage, I haven't been able to even have an idea. This particular idea that I'm coming up with now, that I'm talking about now, is because I seen something on social media. And what I had saw on social media was a guy having his hair taken out, braided or whatever the case. Well, having his hair taken out by his students or whatever in middle school and shit. And motherfuckers, everybody said what they wanted to say, but it made me think specifically about a chapter in So Frail 3 on rape culture. And that's why I'm tying this into the episode on grooming, because rape culture is, I don't think we understand the depths of it being a culture, bro. Like, I don't think we really understand that, to take into consideration that it's an actual culture before rape actually happens. There's certain things in place that make rape possible. If you are sensitive to this topic, if you are, I'm not going to be talking specifically about rape, but I just want to give that disclaimer that this is, because for some people it's touchy, but I feel like as men, it's something that we need to address as a whole, because there's so many windows and so many layers to this shit that it's like, you don't know if you're actually contributing to the shit or not. And the reason why I ultimately want to go into this is because even in addition to just that whole theme of what was going on with that particular situation, people were not privy to what the fuck was going on. And like the guy, he initiated the shit talking about, he said, I can see y'all projecting y'all fears. It's like there's a difference between projection and acknowledgement. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes we get so wrapped up in the culture, we don't know the levels to the shit. You know what I'm saying? If you living in America and you succumb to a patriarchal society, whether you're religious or not, whatever it is, if you're succumbing to the patriarchal society and you're aligning with it, you are exhibiting rape culture. You are a part of rape culture. It's no way around it. Now, does this necessarily mean you're a bad person? No, it doesn't mean you're a bad person, because you don't know the levels to what it is. Sometimes we think flirting is just simple flirting. We think certain things are there, but there's certain layers to this whole system and to this whole structure that makes it worse than what it really is. You feel what I'm saying? And because rape culture is an actual culture, we don't pay attention to the problems until rape is involved. Rape or sexual harassment. And I in So Frail 3, I talked about it as the Mortal Kombat tower. Like, and I don't know about the new modern one. I haven't played a Mortal Kombat in years. Last Mortal Kombat I played was Deadly Alliance. But either way, in playing Mortal Kombat, there's still that tower that you got to climb. You feel me? We know Shao Kahn is at the top. Shang Tsung is usually after him, and sometimes Goro. But specifically, we have to look at that layer. So when we consider where Shang Tsung sits, when we consider where Shao Kahn sits, that's how we identify what rape culture is. But there's a lot of things in between time that build up to that we're molded into as men. From our childhood, as little boys, we're molded into this shit, yo. And a lot of us don't know that we're molded into this shit because of the way society plays itself out. You feel me? We think, oh, this is just what men are. Men pursue. Men do this, that, and the third. There's so many different layers to this patriarchal shit that makes the rape culture so easy, because it's justifiable as long as you don't do anything illegal. But what about the things that are immoral? You feel what I'm saying? Due to legalities, we ultimately overlook our moralities. You feel what I'm saying? And in overlooking your moralities, you don't pass morals down to who follows you, or down to the younger generation, or who is coming up next. I want to have this episode because my brothers, I feel like we need to be on point with this shit, because there's a startling statistic, and it may have increased now, that 60% of Black women have been sexually assaulted by the time they're 18 years old. 60% of Black women have been assaulted by the time they are 18 years old. This now goes into another aspect because when we consider ourselves, it makes us wonder. It makes me wonder, like how in one regard we can say that this statistics it stands, but then look at our circle and not see it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I know my homeboy wouldn't do that. Like, everybody's homeboy ain't wrong. And I had seen another post that was like, you don't know your homie the way the girls know you. And that's a true fact. Your homies don't know you the way the women know you. And you don't know women. And your homies you don't know your homies the way they are around women. Equally, they don't know how you are. We're different people when we're in different scenarios because different things bring out certain energy. But when we're taught as a cultic structure to be a certain way, we're likely to overlook it when we see it because it's not as strong as the things that we see. But before we dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at _just_seen_. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsor the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so excuse me, by clicking on the link in the description of the podcast. Not the episode, but the podcast itself. And you know the vibes, Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And that's that for this, and that's this for that. So, and I know that sounded real dry because I got to get back used to that shit. But that's that for this, and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into So Frail Conversations, Grooming. And don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things just seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. I ain't even gonna hit the owl this time, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And then in light of recent situations with Drake and Kendrick and shit, it's like all of that came out. Those dynamics of the rap battle and shit made me think about So Frail 2 and the chapter Daddy's Maybe, in which we get our influence from, dad, fathers, or whatever the case may be, or maybe even big homies. But these are things that are starting to have a bigger picture. I had seen a woman post. She had commented on one of my posts, and she was saying, this has been going on for thousands of years, like 2,000 years and stuff like this. It's always been this way. It hasn't always been this way. It's been this way when people started accepting the patriarchal doctrine, because that patriarchal doctrine allowed you to mess with young girls, right? It only now became a problem. You feel what I'm saying? And this is why I have conversations with people and they tell me, people don't understand how I understand religion, right? So they think, they tie your religion only to your belief in a deity or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, nah, it's like when you understand the full scope of it, you can't you can't be against patriarchy and misogyny and still fuck with religion. You just can't. I don't care what people say. It's like, no, you can know that means you're picking and choosing when you want this to be a moral compass or not. But it's like, this can't be all encompassing morality if it goes and violates moral principles. You dig what I'm saying? So if this is the very thing that backs patriarchy and misogyny, then how the fuck can you continue to follow it? You look stupid. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, I'm still going to fuck with the father, but I'm not going to fuck with the two sons. Like, it makes no sense. I can't get mad at patriarchy and misogyny and then still be rooted in the religion that made it possible. You feel what I'm saying? And so tying it into what we was talking about, or what I was just talking about So Frail 2, tying it into So Frail 3, like these two dynamics happen. We learn from our homies. We learn from our fathers. We learn from the elders, the people that are, but like, what do they know? What do they know? You feel what I'm saying? Our culture is so fucked up as far as the black culture and how it ties to religion and then how it comes to us off of slavery and shit, that we subconsciously, I ain't even gonna say subconsciously, we just have not healed ourselves from what the atrocities of slavery have done to us. And this has now translated to us as men because we were breeders, yo. Like, so you're not breeding the youngest boy. You're not breeding the younger boys because they're not fertile enough. You're going to breed the ones that are between 18 and 25. But who are you going to breed them with? The women and the girls who can have babies. Like, once they start their cycle, it's on. So we never broke that mentality of, you know what I'm saying, how that works. You feel what I'm saying? And how it translated 400 years later to where it's become so cyclic. It was so normalized then that it's become cyclic now. Now we still know that we knew that it was immoral then, but there was nothing you could do about it. You were enslaved. But we're not enslaved anymore, and we still hold these ideologies. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there's countless times, even with ACT being compromised and shit. DJ Academics was talking about if she has a college ID, I don't care if she's 17 or not, she can get fucked. It's like, niggas is stupid. Like, niggas is really stupid. Now, tying it into the teacher situation where you had these middle school girls taking your hair out, for me, that's a problem. Some of y'all may not have seen the problem in it. And even him in the video, he was talking about, well, y'all are projecting your own weirdness. No, nobody's projecting their weirdness on you, bro. I'm understanding how this culture is really operating. And what you're doing is grooming. The reason why you don't see it as a problem is because you're looking at it from a perspective of, I may not actually penetrate and have sex with these girls. I may not, which is Shokan. I may not actually molest or grope these girls, which is Shang Tsung. But nigga, that don't mean you not fighting Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Liu Kang. It got to me because it's like, in the videos, all you see is girls. He has one girl painting his fingernails. He has a group of girls taking his hair out. And everybody's defending it. It's like, well, that's how teachers got to get to teach their kids. And it's like, as a motherfucker who really teaches people, I don't have to exploit any weakness in them to bring the best out of them. But when I feel like, oh, this is what this person wants to do, and one of the girls who's doing his nails, her mama actually signed a media release form. You feel me? And she was saying, basically, yeah, my daughter can be in your videos. My thing is, I don't like, what are these videos being used for? I get, well, he's putting them on social media, whatever the case may be. But is that all he's doing with them? And this was something that came to my mind because it's like, a victim doesn't know they're being victimized. They never will. When it comes to sexual harassment and shit like that, unless it's Shokan and Shokan and Shang Tsung, nobody's really going to pay attention to it being a problem. You see what I'm saying? And now, what is he doing with these videos? And that led me to the next point because it's like, for one, the victim doesn't know they're being victimized, but a predator definitely knows they're being predatory. So much so, it's like somebody commented and was like, well, he's recording the videos. Duh. It's how you hide it in plain sight. You feel what I'm saying? It's how you hide it in plain sight. And you hide it in plain sight by making sure that what it is that you're actually doing doesn't look so obvious. So it's like, hey, I must be doing right if I'm recording it. I must be doing good if I'm putting it on Instagram. But what about the backside? And this is the point that ultimately got me. We don't know what a person's fetish is. We don't know what a person's fetish is. And all fetishes don't need naked bodies. I'm going to say that shit again. Not all fetishes need naked bodies. My brothers, if you got daughters, you got little sisters or whatever the case may be, I need you to take this episode into deep motion. But then I also need you to pay attention to your homeboys, to our homeboys, and we need to be on point and say, hey, what is our programming like? You feel what I'm saying? Because it doesn't change. There's things that we think are, oh, she wanted it, this, that, and the third. There's subtle things that we do that are ingrained within a culture that we're a part of and we're oblivious to because we not always fighting Shang Tsung and Shokan. You feel me? Sometimes it's the little flirty joke. Sometimes it's the little hidden innuendo. Sometimes it's little shit like that. Sometimes it's even down to, and it's, you look, but you got to consider what we're looking at. Everybody that I know, myself included, is programming. First thing we do when we acknowledge a woman is we're looking at her ass and we're looking at her titties. 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to look at first. You don't think that's normal? Imagine if I'm telling you, damn, I'm attracted to this person, but the first thing I notice out of this person is what? Do you see how subtle this shit is? And you see how fluid it is and how it starts? I'm looking at the booty. But now let's look at the word booty. Booty is spoils of war. How does ass become unanimous? How does ass become synonymous with booty? So now that creates a whole different psychology into the shit with it. Damn, she got a fat booty. Call booty for what it really is. Go to the etymology, go to the original origins of the word. Call booty for what it is. Damn, she got a fat spoil of war. She has a fat spoil of war. That spoil of war is fat. You can call it ass all you want to. But look at booty from what it is. That spoils of war. So we had to acknowledge that a lot of the shit, a lot of what our deep-seated and rooted attractions are war-based. But now we have to look at tying it back to that Roman Empire episode I was talking about. All's fair in love and war, right? All is fair in love and war. So when we consider a lot of the programming that we already have wired within us, right? The culture, it makes you say, I'm going to look at the spoils of war right here. Now, it changes a whole different dynamic when we look at, damn, all they show on Instagram is spoils of war, bro. That's crazy, right? It makes you think about this shit totally different, yo. How conquered are you? How conquered are we? You feel me? We now look at our women through the same lens that the people who beat us in war look at us. And a lot of people like, yo, we're not in war no more. Duh, the war was already won. It was lost when we got put in chains. And now we can't fight the war no more. We physically can't fight the war no more. So we now have to fight it spiritually and mentally. But you're in a culture that teaches you how to align with the people. We're prisoners of war, bro. We're prisoners of war. So what the fuck you think booty is? You feel me? And forget the sound of this chair. It's like, this motherfucker is creaky. This ain't my chair. So, you feel me? Y'all can hear it, whatever. But anyway, and I want to say it because I'm about to start getting comfortable and it's going to be moving a lot. And I was trying to like be stiff and still so it wouldn't make so much sound. But I'm like, yo, fuck it, yo. Yeah, we try, bro. This is how we rock. So, piggybacking. Let's take it back into the booty and shit. Like, spoils of war. Right? When we are, quote unquote, attracted to our women, you know, when that's our type, she got a fat booty. And I'm only using booty so I don't use ass, so I don't use derriere, so I don't use any other terms. I'm using booty specifically because it spoils of war. That's what that shit means. Every time you get some booty, you get spoils of war. And we wonder why our focus is always to take a woman from another man or deal with broken women or, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. It's dangerous, but it's a part of rape culture. Why? Because rape is an extension of war. It's two things go hand in hand. Every land that empire landed on to colonize, they raped the women. So it's natural for them. Now, when you assimilate into that culture, it becomes natural for you too. Now, again, because we're not always fighting Shokan and Shang Tsung, we don't realize it. We don't realize it. Everything in our mannerisms, everything in our speech, everything, like there's a whole HR department that has a sexual harassment situation in it because when women started coming into the workforce or whatever the case may be, it was so natural that you had to have a human resource department for them to complain to just in case. Like, come on, y'all. We're tied to this motherfucking culture. So now when we start doing some of the shit, everybody can say this, you don't know this person may not do, like, it's not about knowing this person, but it's knowing about what psychology is already programmed into them. This isn't me on the holier than thou shit. This is me expressing my own reality based off, y'all heard the 200th episode. I had to recover and heal from this shit and realize, yo, we sick, bro. We sick. You feel me? I had to acknowledge my sickness and go and say, yeah, I got to heal from this shit because this ain't right. Now, if you haven't heard the 200th episode, please go hear it before you assume I'm talking about like I was a off the wall type motherfucking shit. Nah, it was a one-time situation. But you got to hear the episode. Go back and listen to it. Get my streams up for that. But that is how a lot of us are programmed. Tying it back to the academics thing, we was like, yo, if she's over 18, she's legal. Like, we say shit like that. She's legal. When I was in college, my big homies, they're like 7, 8 years older than me. One of my big homies, he seen this chick that I had knew that I could have dug into, but matter of fact, I should have, but I didn't because she lived in the same suite as the girl I was with. It's a long story, but that's beside the fact. He seen her and was like, yo, put me on to her. I said, no, bro, you're 7 years older than me. She's my age. And he told me with the straightest face, but she legal though. Like that morality doesn't kick in. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Morality doesn't kick in until we have daughters. Morality does not kick in for us until we have a daughter. Until we have a daughter, the only thing that matters is the legality. But once we have a daughter, that's when our morality comes back. That's crazy, homie. Damn, that's crazy as fuck. And we do this shit on a regular basis. And I thought you was talking about grooming. I am. Before you can groom somebody, you have to be programmed to even know what grooming is. And do it without knowing you're doing it. This man and this teacher, he may have no intentions for doing what he's doing, but he's practicing grooming tactics. He's using grooming tactics. Where do you get that from? Our culture is like that. And I'm not just speaking about our culture as, black men. Our culture is like that from the perspective of our assimilation into being colonized. We're prisoners of war. And we think and move the way the motherfuckers who beat us move. Get into a conversation with them and listen to how sex driven they are, how sex wired they are. How everything is a joke. There's always some kind of hidden text. They've been like this since they were kids. We've been like this since we were kids. We don't even know it's like chicken and egg type shit. You dig what I'm saying? We don't know where it started. We don't know where it came from. We don't know the full dynamics of what's what and who's who. But we know that we're in this space right now. Grooming is because the way in which grooming works, when we do it in an age appropriate way, it's called flirting. When we do it in an age appropriate way, it's called chivalry. When we do it in an age appropriate way, it's called romance. But when the age is not the same, now it's grooming. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. It's a performative tactic of seduction. We don't register that until we see it being exhibited on somebody that's significantly younger than us. You feel what I'm saying? My situation was different, but it doesn't change the fact. I was 17 years old. She was 13. We were 3 years and 9 months apart. You feel what I'm saying? And in my mind, I'm like, there's nothing. The morality didn't conceptualize to me. It's booty, bro. Her booty fat. You feel what I'm saying? Until you get older and then you start to realize like the bigger the gap goes, that's when you start to say, nah, she's too young, this, that, and the third. But then you never realize that. What about our culture makes us do this? You feel me? What about our culture is making us do this shit? Because the culture's already wired this way. It's not until you start, like I said, putting ages on it that you identify, oh, that's grooming. Yeah, flirting. I'm going to holler at her. I'm going to get a number. Yeah, you're doing the same shit. It's just that she's legal. She's of age, of the right age for you. So it doesn't seem like you're grooming. You grooming her. Every woman you ever got the number from, every woman you ever initiated and you quote unquote pursued, you groomed her. You groomed her. We can call it, we can play semantics all we want to. I pulled her, I got her number, I just stand the third. You performed the act of seduction on this person to lower their defenses, to make them comfortable and like you. You just did it to somebody who was your age, or you did it to somebody who was older. As a motherfucker who has seduced all age ranges, I understand it. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, you're just such a good conversationalist. You're flirting this, that, and the third. Yeah, a lot of that shit is real. I have tapped into a more truer essence of myself. But back in the day when I was out hoeing, smashing, thrashing, and haberdashing and shit, I was macking, pimping. We call it whatever we want to, but it's grooming, nigga. It's grooming. Pimping is grooming. We want to be the player. We want to be the players and the pimps and shit and have the girls and all of that shit, not realizing that you got to groom them to do so. Now, here's why it becomes extra problematic, because when motherfuckers can't get women their age, they go younger and younger and younger. Tied it into the Drake situation. Shorty is like 31. There's a shorty, she was like 31. She's 31 now, so Drake's like 38 or some shit like that. But when she was 17, Drake would have been 24 years old. On stage doing this shit. And the thing about it, they was like, well, her father let her go. I said, y'all, see, that's how y'all don't understand. Y'all aren't men. And not only are y'all not men who are aware of what the fuck has already been programmed that happened to us. Nothing, it was innocent. It was this, that, and the third. It's never innocent when you are moving with the mindset of a colonizer. You can hate them all you want to. You can be like, but if you're going to navigate successfully within their realm without being conscious to this shit, you're going to do the same shit. This is why when motherfuckers that are black get in trouble for sexual assault and all this other shit, first thing they want to say is, well, the white guys don't get in trouble for that shit. Y'all missed the whole point. It doesn't matter if it's a white guy or a black guy doing it. God, y'all, this is morally wrong. They're taking something that doesn't belong to them from somebody else. When your words are not charming enough to do it, now you go into the drugs. When the drugs don't do it, now you forcefully take it. Again, you don't always fight Shokan at the beginning. You never fight Shokan at the beginning. You rarely fight Shang Tsung at the beginning. They won and two. Yeah, it can shuffle. Hey, I fought Sub-Zero first. Thinking, well, I fought Scorpion first. It seems different. You feel me? Some of us was pinching booties in high school and middle school and shit. Some of us was smacking booties and running. Some of us was pinching titties. Some of us was making hidden jokes and shit to girls or whatever. That's what she said. Some of us was doing simple shit like that to make the girls laugh, telling jokes and shit. But everything was about molding and grooming the girl into liking you. We don't realize it's grooming until we see it done on a younger girl. So now when our fathers are saying, you stay away from these boys, rather than putting you on game, we tell our girls and our daughters, our nieces and everything, you stay away from these boys, rather than, boys, we are fucked up and we need to teach y'all different. We are fucked up and we need to teach y'all different. This is the purpose of So Frail Conversations. These are the purposes of the So Frail motherfucking books. I wrote these shits for both genders, for my sons and my daughters. My daughters, this is what you have to do. This is what you're going to have to deal with in this world, because I can't make sure every man teaches his son the right way. I can't make sure that every man does what he's supposed to do for his son and make sure he's not a groomer. But I need you to know what the fuck a groomer looks like. And equally, the same information can go to my son. So while my daughters know what to look for, my sons know what not to be. I can't. I'm their biggest influence. I'm their first influence. There's no reason I should have to live this world wondering, will my daughters be safe? No, you know if you're in the right position. You know if you like, and now you can spot that you're being groomed. I know this is a heavy episode. Every episode I do is heavy, nigga. That's what the fuck I do. But this is a heavy episode because I'm back in flow. That situation, it bothered me because it's like, I knew a homeboy. We was in college together. Ladies, man. When I say lady, like we was neck and neck when it came to, we even crossed, like, I feel like I got the one up on him. And I'm gonna get to the serious part, but this part is funny. I feel like I got the one up on him because I smashed the chick that he just ate and shit. And it was like, oh damn, she wouldn't even let you fuck. And she didn't ask me to eat her. So, nigga, you digs. But, it's different. But I say that because it's like, my man, you was able to pull any woman you want your age. Now, mind you, by college, you feel me, you graduated 22. I think when I found out about this information, I know I was in Philly. I know for a fact I was in Philly when this happened. So I could have been anywhere between 26 to 28 years old when I found this information out. So he was about 26 to 28 years old. And he was a teacher. The mother allowed the daughter to ride in his car, to go with him, to go certain places or whatever the case may be because she trusted him. He was in the church, devout person, sung in the choir, motherfucking, he was a member of Greek letter organization fraternity. Everything on paper. He was Mr. I don't want to say that because then that'll put too many specifics on who he really is. Because I was Mr. Honors Hall. He was at a level 2. You feel what I'm saying? We was active on campus. We did that's how he was. Model image of a motherfucker. You know, they said a model citizen. He's that type of motherfucker. We find out because he's that model motherfucker that little girl was only 13 years old. And he happened to have her in his car, took her back to his house. This man is married at the time. He's married. And he forces himself on his girl. And then she pushes him off, says stop or whatever the case may be. He says, don't tell nobody. Because they're not going to believe you anyway. Nigga. So when he finally got arrested, they posted his mugshot or whatever the case may be. Everybody that went to school said, we don't know what happened. The girl told you what happened, my nigga. The little girl told you what happened. And even if none of that happened, why did he put himself in that situation? Everybody, we sending our prayers up because this is wrong. We don't know. You immediately attack the girls. And you don't think we still at war? You don't think we still at war, my nigga? When I say we don't have a masculine spirituality is because the women take the spirituality of whatever the colony is, and then after they break the men, they force the women into taking it. It's a system. It's a sick system, but it works, and I get how it works. But everybody is chastising and blaming this little 13-year-old girl, not this 26 to 28-year-old man who forced himself on her. Now he could have been, because I don't remember exactly when it happened. I just know I was in Philly at the time when it happened. And I was in Philly from the time I was 25 years old up until I was 28. So, but I know it happened between 26 because I remember where I was living at when I got the information. But I know for a fact she was 13. And hearing everybody defend him off rip is how the grooming works so effectively. Because everybody was like, he a ladies man. Y'all, come on, bro. He could have had any woman he wanted. Y'all know he ain't gonna mess with no little 13-year-old girl. He ain't gonna do that shit. Be real. You see how easy it is to hide in plain sight? Because we never make the parallelism that the very grooming that is happening to the young girls is the very grooming that happens to women our age. The very grooming we put on older women and shit. My game is so potent. My game was so potent, it don't matter who you are. I done pulled women from my age to 50. I'm going to put it in the bracket. And if you listen, and I'm not saying this to disrespect you, I'm putting this in context of how this shit really is. You see what I'm saying? I have involved myself with women who are 2 years older than me, 10 years older than me. The highest I've gone so far is 18. 18 years older than me. And motherfuckers is like, oh, you were too young. She didn't groom me. She wasn't seducing me. I broke through her barriers. I don't think y'all understand how this game really works. I was telling my big sister about it. My big sister was a protector. She protected me several times from predators, but she didn't realize that I was a predator to them. Not on no sinister shit. I didn't do nothing crazy. Like one of I talked her best friend. I taught her one of her best friends. And her best friend was like a year older than her. Me and my sister 5 years apart. So this woman was 6 years older than me. I talked her best friend into giving me some head, but my sister talked her out of it. She said, my shit was so raw that my sister had to beg her. She said, please do not do nothing with my little brother. And she said, you got to promise me you're not going to do nothing with my little brother. So the time came around, Shorty was going to give me some brain. I go over to her crib and shit. She said, I promise your sister I wouldn't do nothing with you. I said, fuck that. You better give me some motherfucking hair. Yo, you got me all the way over here. And you said, nope, I promise your sister I wasn't going to do it. So I was like, if my sister would have never found out and told you to promise not to do it, you would have did it? She was like, yeah. I said, so what's stopping you now? I'm older now and I'm more mature. But I understand what my sister was protecting me from. But at the same time, my sister didn't know. I was like, you don't know your brother's game. Like, it don't. I can talk draws off and it ain't nothing. I didn't realize what that power really was. So I'm telling my sister about this woman at the time. Like, I think I had to be like 29, 28 or 29 maybe. Or maybe 30. I don't know. But I think the woman, she's 18 years older than me. So I'm telling my sister about it. She said, how old is this one? I was like, yeah, because I was 30 because Shorty was like 48 at the time. So I was like, she 48? She said, Ray, you serious right now? I said, nigga, didn't you get married to a nigga that was fit? It's different. It's not different. The nigga was 15 years older than you. What's wrong with me doing it? Because she trying to take advantage of you, not knowing that it was me who had broke her down. I was the A side of that situation. Fuck the age. I was the A side of that situation. Because my speech, my vernacular, the way in which I talk, the soothing way in which I make them feel, they weren't doing that to me. I was doing that to them. My cougar phase, it was crazy. You wouldn't have known those women were older than me. You would not have known those women were older than me. And the men that they were involved, like the men of their age bracket and shit was like, they was like, you don't know him. You don't know him. It's different. He's not like, he's young, but he's not young. I learned the game early and I learned the power of the game, but the power of the game is grooming, homie. That flirtatious shit, that good, like that shit is like, I had to take a step back and look at it. You feel me? Because I was so fluent with the shit and I was so good with the shit that I still got it. I still got it, but I know what it is now. I know what it is now, so I control how I use it. I control how I use it. Some people they're not even aware of it to even control it. So it's gonna control them because it's a culture that we all follow. You dig what I'm saying? So mind you, considering that this is how we are naturally taught to approach women, sit down and think about the time if you had to talk with your man, your father, even if you had the man talk about what it is. How do I talk to women? Seduce them. Everything is about seduction. Everything is about making sure you can groom that person into being what you need them to be. This pimp shit. It's pimp shit. It's grooming. We just attribute it to certain things, like, I seen a post that said, when the person's attractive, it's flirting, but when they're ugly, it's harassment. They're doing the exact same thing, but depending on if you're attracted to them or not, I'm speaking to the women at this point, depending on if the woman is attracted to them or not will determine if it's flirtation or harassment. But you can't go over the line too quick. You feel me? Now, fast forward, we're on social media. We're on social media now. A woman says hi to a man, they like double piss, and she like instantly sent like, I'm going to tell you how a lot of the times how I got the cougars that I was getting. Right? One of the first ones that I pulled, first cougar that I pulled was like 10 years older than me. And in pulling this cougar, it was every time we talked, she said, I'm surprised you ain't sent me a dick pic yet. I said, why the fuck would I send you a dick pic? She's like, well, when the conversations go good, that's what some men feel like doing. They just feel like, again, you don't always fight. Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung first. Sometimes you got to fight a Liu Kang. Sometimes you got to fight a Johnny Cage. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes it's Johnny Cage that's in front of you. So I'm like, why do you think that's cool? She like, I don't know. She said, but that's just what sets you apart and everything like that. It's like, for one, I've evolved beyond that. But for two, how do you make sure you muster that up for real? Like, what do you think that comes from where we think that's okay? And I was like, she said, it's almost every dude that shoot a shot at me. When there's a theme, my nigga, there's a culture behind it. It's simple. It's simple. But again, I was able to pull them because, you're not like the rest of them, but I'm still 10 years younger than you. How the fuck am I keeping up with you? How the fuck am I able to say the right shit? And no, I said, so it would not be fair for women my age. It definitely would be problematic for women younger than me. You feel what I'm saying? Because I developed that integrity and I actually started to identify what the fuck was really happening. I remember I was 29. Shorty was 26 years old. I told her she was too young for me. She got mad, blocked me and shit. Like, she wanted me bad too. She was really throwing it. She was just like, you feel me? It was funny because I was like, you too young for me. I ain't too young for you. I dated somebody who was 32 before he said I was mature for my age. Gotcha. I'm laughing, but I'm very serious right now. And I'm laughing to keep from crying because they don't even know what the fuck is happening to them. Imagine this is a 26-year-old woman. She's supposed to be a grown woman. This 32-year-old man is saying, you're mature for your age. No, baby girl, he's immature for his. And he knows he can't use what he's about to use on you on women his age or even older. This is why I had to transcend the legalities and shit and start focusing on morality. Because when I realized what I was doing to women, I was able to do to women older than me, I was 15 years old. 15 years old. This woman was 21. Only reason why we stopped talking was because she made a threat. She ain't really make a threat, but she scared me when she said some shit. She said, this were her words. She said, I got cheated on before and I just came home and started stabbing the sheets. Now, mind you, she wouldn't have came home and stabbed no sheets. I live with my mama. I'm 15 fucking years old. Girl, you got a wall to get through. You come over this motherfucker. But you feel what I'm saying? I was 15 years old and she was 21. And she said, I will get you anything you want. School clothes, whatever the case may be. Just let me suck your dick. That goes to your head when you're young like that. But somehow I said, nah, that comes with something. All magic comes with a price. Shout out to Rumpelstiltskin, bro. All magic comes with a fucking price. And that shit scared me. Because it slowly revealed my power. I had another woman. This was on my 16th birthday. I'll never forget it. I'm drunk as shit. Like, soon as like we got the word that I could stay at my homie house, cause this particular birthday was on a Saturday. So my birthday fell on a Saturday, threw me a party and shit, and I was staying at my homie house. And we got drunk. I mean, toe back, drunk as fuck. And there's this girl. She was like a year and a half younger than me. Not even that. Cause we were supposed to be in the same grade. She ain't do right. But anyway, she wanted me bad. We had my party drinking and shit, and it's like all inhibitions are gone. So the monster in me is outside of me. Not on no predatory shit, but this is what I mean by that. This woman, she's like, yo, I wanted you so bad, this, that, and the third. I said, cool, it's all good, but I tell you what, you gotta fuck my homie before you can fuck with me. Just to fuck me, she gave my homie some ass. Same night. After he fucked, I went in and fucked her too. That's dangerous as shit. That could have easily went left. I don't know. I have no idea what his intentions were with that. I'm 16 years old. Luckily, he just had sex with her and left. But I hadn't, like, that same homeboy, we ended up getting head from this older woman because she wanted us to beat up her boyfriend. So he was like, fuck that. He was like, yo, you gotta give me some head or something first. She's like, all right. And then I was like, yo, she giving out head, nigga, I want some too. We gotta jump her man. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, let's do that shit. Cause that's how we was anyway. But that was my homie. But at the same time, do you really know your homies? Let's say that shit went left before I even went in there. And he dogged her out. And he did something worse than just me alley-ooping him some pussy. Some booty. Shit would have went totally different. Because after he finished, it wasn't even a misstep. I just walked straight in as soon as he walked out the room. And it's like she was already ready for me. And it was like, how powerful are my words? She didn't even like this man. But she did it to fuck with me. So much so she had a boyfriend. She told her boyfriend that my man's fucked, but she didn't tell him I fucked too. She said, I didn't want to tell on you. What you mean? Cause I ain't wanted to get to you. I ain't care about him. I was like, damn. It made me feel bad. In hindsight, in the moment it made me feel good. I'm like, I'm that nigga, bro. I threw my man some pussy. We both got some pussy off the motherfucker. And then this, that, and the third. And she's still cool. And she still she told her man on him, didn't tell on me and shit. But then now I look at it as like, bro, you you groomed her. You pimped her. It's like, damn. Now, at the time, one of my favorite rappers had a song said, you got to fuck Banks before you get to the boss. It's like, damn. I flipped that and said, yo, you got to fuck my homies before you can get to me. Because again, there's songs, there's music. It says it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. It's okay, right? They're rapping about this. People are clearing these songs. People are saying this shit is okay for us to consume. But we don't realize it's a culture. We don't realize it's a culture. Because we pride ourselves on either having hands or having hoes. Shout out to So Frail 1. If you ain't got hands, you're going to try to have hoes. But how do you get hoes? That's the question. Hey, bro, for real, though, at some point, we got to stop talking to women about masculinity and start talking to each other about it. And I mean really talk to each other. Not as enablers and co-signers, but as men trying to reach the pinnacle of our essence. And that's what the So Frail series does. So Frail 1 is the definition. So Frail 2 is the acknowledgement. And So Frail 3 is the resolution. If you rock with the So Frail conversations, I can guarantee you will rock with the So Frail series of books. So visit IamJustSaying.com right now so you can add the series to your library. I promise you will never look at masculinity the same again, and you're going to stop wasting your time arguing with women about it. This is a conversation that men need to have between men, and it's time we start having this conversation now. Nobody wants to address what it really takes to actually put in the time to understand, got to overcome rejection and shit, all of that shit. It becomes grooming. I set my situation up so well that she won't tell me no. You feel what I'm saying? The manipulation is real. The grooming is real. When you handsome, when you got swag, when you got money, when you got all of this other shit there, it's easy to groom them. Y'all, this ain't hard. This ain't hard. We just don't even understand what it is that we fucking do. Oh, we flirting. Oh, we this, that, and we shooting shots and shit like that. It's grooming. Because I'm gonna get you to a level of comfort that you let all your guards down. And then I'm taking the spoils of war. Now, some niggas are sick. Some niggas are far more sicker than others. Some niggas approach it as if I'm about to fight Shang Tsung. You see what I'm saying? Now, again, a lot of this shit is permissible. Women would say, you feel me? I like when my man smack my ass. I like when my man, like, even our sex is not normal. You dig what I'm saying? Even our sex ain't normal no more. I don't even think we know what normal sex is. Our sex is violent. Our sex is violent, my nigga. And we don't think we're succumbing to rape culture? I had a conversation with a woman. Again, tying it back to the 60% of black women are sexually assaulted before the age of 18. I dated several women who were victims of rape. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, now I gotta maneuver a certain way. Because certain ways that I touch her are traumatizing. And I don't even know it. Only one actually came out, like we had a real deep conversation while we were together. It wasn't like, other ones was just like, you know, hindsight afterwards and shit. But one of them we were together when she told me. And she was like, I told him no, but he wouldn't. You feel me? How many times, listen to this real well, how many times have you ever heard in your teenage years or whatever the case may be, your big homie talking to you, man, she say no, but she really mean yeah. How many times have you heard that shit? See, it's different when you actually listening to the victim who has to try to process and rationalize itself that this wasn't what happened. They're telling me that didn't really happen. So she's telling me about the situation and shit. And she was like, she went into the locker room with the dude and everything like that. Again, it's everybody's like, she went all the way. And then I was like, so why didn't you say something? She said, because I had wanted to do it up until the time it was time to do it. And I couldn't say no now. Why not? Because I was already doing it. So I was like, yo, you want to confront dude? And she was like, yeah, I think I do. I said, you want me to come with you? She was like, nah, I'm just going to, So she texted him or whatever the case may be. He said, you trying to ruin my life after all of this time and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, we was kids then. We was this, that, and the third. And you wanted it. You came in there with me. Did she come in there with you? Or did you groom her into that room? Did you groom her into the locker room? When you go back and listen to the 200th episode, because by now I know you will. When you go back and you listen to the 200th episode, when I was speaking about how I got her in the room, I didn't force her. I just grabbed her hand and we walked in there together. In my mind, that's what we did. I never, until I got older and I started going through the healing process of the shit. And I know, what you healing from? I'm healing from the fact that I did some stupid shit that almost fucked up my life. But as I'm walking back there, and as long as she's walking with me, laughing and smiling, it's good. Now, once she said stop, I stopped. It won't no going further from that. But at the same time, seeing the situation with the young lady that I was involved with at the time, hearing it from her perspective, and then seeing how the guy responded, I was like, whoa, it's a slippery slope. Because we seduce our women, our girls and shit like that into situations they can't get out of. You feel me? Or put them in situations where they feel like they have to. Oh, you might lose me or this, that, and the third, or you ain't trying to do all of that shit. It's grooming, nigga. We only realize it when the age gap is wide. Then it's a problem. It's a problem when we watching the fruit being eaten by somebody who's not supposed to be eating the fruit. We never notice that it's a problem when the roots are producing the fruit that grows. So we tend to look at shit from a different way. I got two little cousins, beautiful young girls. And I always tried every moment that I got to kick game to them. I had to be about 29, 30 years old. So I'm out talking to them and shit. And one of my uncles, he comes outside and he's sitting down and he pulls $2 out of his pocket. And he gets it to my little cousins. It's 3 little cousins out there, but only 2 of them are of teenage age. And like I said, they're beautiful girls. You feel me? They develop. They're beautiful young girls. He tells them, I'll give you $1 to touch your toes. And they was like, I want the $1. They touch their toes. At the time, I'm like, fuck, I can't really do shit right now because I know me and I know that I'm going to pop on my uncle. My uncle had just had a stroke. He on a cane and shit. I'm going to pop on my uncle. So after that, the youngest one, she was like 8. She said, I want $1 too. He said, no, not for you. He goes back in the house. I tell him, I said, y'all, there's not much that I could have done in that situation considering where we at. And I apologize for that. But I'm going to let you know, I'm telling you this from this point forward. If a man ever tries to give you money to touch your toes, if a man ever does anything, and they were young, they were so naive to it, bro. They said, what? He just wanted to see if we could touch our toes. Could we flexible? No, that's not what he was looking at. Do y'all know what he was looking at? And one of them was like, probably my butt. I said, exactly. He did that to see your butt poke out. I said, never in your life be put in that situation again. Hear me well. I said, I apologize that I couldn't do anything now. It still hurt my feelings when I even think about it because I should have popped off on my uncle. I should have. But the nigga had just had a stroke. Like, I don't know. I got a little bit of integrity too. Like, I can't beat up a weak victim. Like, you feel me? You got to give me a fair one. Like, you're on a cane. But it's like, damn, did I really protect the girls? You feel me? I had to protect them going forward. Like, yo, y'all don't do no shit like that no more. Never put yourself in that situation with a man again. Get out of that situation if you are ever in one like that again. You feel me? But that's culture. They didn't even know what was happening to them. Victims don't always know when they're being victimized. So when we talk about this man saying, and I'm not just saying like, well, just because your uncle did that shit. No. How many motherfucking young girls? Like, there's a lot of stories we don't know. There's a lot of quote unquote innocent stories that we know nothing about. Because a motherfucker never actually crossed the line and fought Shao Kahn or Shang Tsung. My nigga. It's not always like that. Sometimes you have instances where a motherfucker's just having girls take his hair out, paint his fingernails. People don't understand the levels of grooming. People don't understand what it really fucking is. People don't understand what rape culture is. And that's devastating. That's devastating as fuck because it's sad because there's plethoras of generations. There's a video going around, a couple videos going around where they say if you were in the woods with a bear and a man, what are you more afraid of? And they said basically the man. They would rather be left alone with a bear than a man. Now the men, they're making the jokes about it and shit. It's like, whatever, this, that, and the third. Women, like, you don't even understand how deep rape culture has gotten you to the point where now women are more comfortable with a fucking grizzly bear than they are in our presence. Because it's the culture. It's the culture. I get there may be the benefit of the doubt. How many benefits of the doubt have been given to people who have been violated? So many benefits of the doubt that there's a 60% statistical rating that by the age 18, a black woman is going to be touched or molested in some way, shape, or form. There's a 60% chance that by 18 years old, she's going to fight Shao Kahn or Shang Tsung. You know how startling that is? Because now when we look at it in situations that we don't have homeboys like that, do you really? Do you know? Because again, you're not the same way you are around women that you are around your homies. Niggas can try to defend it. Nah, man, my homie just like that. No, we're not. You know it too. You know it too, because you're not even the same person you are around your lady that you are around your homies. So much so that your homies can coerce you into cheating on your lady. Nigga, she ain't gonna find out, man, for that bitch, bro. Like, chill out, man, bro. We ain't gonna say shit. We'll cover for you. We ain't gonna say shit. And now you go and perpetuate a whole different cycle. If they ain't got the moral integrity to make sure that you don't cheat on your girl, what morality do you think they have in any other regard? But again, it's not until we have our first daughter or we start having girls or our nieces or whatever the case may be that the morality kicks in. Somehow it suddenly makes sense now. You know why? Because we treat women like objects. Women are bitches. Women are booty, spoils of fucking war. Why would I treat the spoils of war? Now, this is biblical shit. This is biblical shit. This is okay. When you go to the land, you put to the sword all men, women, children, and cattle, and the virgins you take for yourself. Some of the great kings were pedophiles. Some of the great kings of every religion you follow were pedophiles. But because that's what they did back in the day. So if that's what they did back in the day and you serving a deity that is the same now and forever and he permitted it back then, why is it not okay now? We know it's not okay now because when it happens now, the police get involved because we know now that morality has now kicked in. So now you serve a deity that created a system of patriarchy and misogyny that you follow, that you now know is saying it's wrong now, but it wasn't wrong then. And the only reason why it's wrong now is because of the legalities. You take the legalities off and it's no longer wrong, right? How do you move with that? How do you fucking move with that? Now we have a certain thing when we looking at the grooming shit and everything. Girls lie. I've heard it in my own family because you know little girls lie. You was once a little, women will say to little girls, why? Call them little fast ass girls and shit. How you know she got fat? Who speeds her up? That's the question. I hate that conversation. We be like, yo, little girls is being fast. Who's speeding them up? Who's speeding them up? Who's allowing them to be sped up? Grooming runs deep, my nigga. And it's so subtle and it's like I said, this should go on a shirt, my nigga. You're not always gonna fight Shokan and Shang Tsung. You're just not. But you want a tower. Because this is the culture, my nigga. So now, video after video after video of this man interacting only with his girls. So he's teaching at an all-girl school. Where is his interaction with his boys? Now, a lot of people say, I had a person comment, I'm a teacher and she's a woman. I'm a teacher and I braid my girls can braid my hair. They can do stuff like that. You're a woman. They're girls. If it was really not that serious, why aren't the boys taking his hair out too? It's just hair, right? It's not that serious, right? It becomes a problem then, right? Because then you're like, oh, nah, there has to be something going on then because now the boys are doing it too. But then logically, wouldn't it make sense that he will be a lot more safer in that regard if both the boys and the girls are in his head taking their hair out? Why only the girls? Huh? The side of grooming that people don't talk about is the side that is testing the waters. I'm grooming to see how much I can groom you. This is not me saying I've groomed somebody intentionally. This is me saying now from the observation of how the culture plays itself out now. I've seen Dateline NBC interviews where pedophiles really tell you how they got them. What they actually do. I cater to what they like. He literally told it in real time. I'm catering to what these girls like. She says she wants to be a nail tech when she grows up, so I let her do my nails. Huh, for real? Okay. Well, that's how you got to get through to these kids so that way you can make sure that is how you get through them. Docuseries after docuseries after docuseries, the pedophiles will tell you how they got them every time. Every time. What did you do? Well, I targeted the ones who knew didn't have a strong father figure in the home. Case in point, me responding and posting the way that I did, people are giving me backlash. Like I'm the one that's doing wrong. This is why this is why the father can't be there. This is why a male dominant father figure cannot be there. Because they're going to call the bullshit because we're not viewing it from a feeling perspective. We're just not. But everybody's coming at me saying that, oh, you're looking at it too wrong, this, and the third. And even him, he started the video off with, you're projecting your own insecurities and your weirdness on me. No, nigga, I'm telling you what known pedophiles have said they do to kids to get them. Like, you feel me? You watch any you can YouTube this shit. I don't know if it's on YouTube because it's pedophile shit. Netflix, Hulu, whatever. You find you a documentary series on pedophiles and listen to how they say they get them every time. The mother has to be working or something like that. And when the mother is, you build the trust within the mother if the father is gone. And then you cater to what the child likes and you make them lower their guard. So now they think they found a friend. This nigga's literally saying that exact same shit in the video. It's like y'all looking at me like I'm trying to project. I'm not projecting shit. I'm telling y'all what known pedophiles say that they do to get kids. They groom them. They groom them. The issue with pedophiles and what makes pedophiles so wrong is that they never grow up in the context of they're never able. It's not even that they don't grow up. They're just not confident enough and competent enough to groom women their age. So now when we look at the angry men now, they're the ones who couldn't groom anybody. Oh, she mad at the Pookies and the Ray Rays, this, that, and the third. You couldn't groom her. Your flirtation was off. You couldn't get her number. You couldn't talk to her enough to let her guard down. Cause the same motherfuckers that you bitching about, oh, she got a baby and he left and he did all this other shit. Like, yeah, what kind of behavior you think that was? Spoils of war. You didn't give a fuck. You groomed that woman to get some pussy off of her. And you got it. Like, you got it. Like, that's what we're wired to do. This is culture, my nigga. This is a culture, my nigga. It's normal. It's normal. It's only a problem when you ugly. It's only a problem when you ain't got no game. But when you can check off everything, now you wonder why they get mad. Now we see why the dudes be getting mad and shit, and it's like, yo, I'm the high value man and shit. Now I can groom you. But now because I have never had practice, I'm gonna go for the younger women and get the ones that are inexperienced. Even now, I still pull older women. It ain't no different. But I understand so much of this culture that I put them onto the game right in front of them and they don't even know what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying? I have a homie. Cool as fuck. Cool as fuck. I like her a lot. We be talking, and matter of fact, we were just talking the other day, and I had to correct her because she was like, we was talking about meditation or some shit. She was like, because you know I'm beneath you. No, I stopped her mid-sentence. I knew the context in which she was saying. I was like, don't use that word. Don't use beneath. You're not beneath me. You may not be on the same level as I am or have not been doing it as long as I have, but you are not beneath me. Don't ever say that. But you know what? No, I know what you mean, but I also know what you said, and words are powerful. So when you affirm that you're beneath me, you put yourself there. Now, I could be the groomer and cater to that. But it's okay, because, I'm here to help you. I'm here to yeah, I'm going to guide you, but I don't want you to ever feel like you beneath me. That's how I play with you. And I'm not about to play with you. Being in a space where you actually have platonic friends that are women, it makes you see shit different. My homegirls, when they come to me, what it mean when a man do this? I tell them straight up. I mean, shit, y'all on So Frail Conversations, episode 300 something. So y'all know I tell all of the shit. You feel me? But I tell my homegirls straight like that. And I know because this is a culture, homie. The ones who tell the secrets, the ones who are able to give the game, we were the ones who were winning the game. We were the ones at the upper echelon. That's simple. That's simply what it is. Now you have tiers. We were the ones who never even had to approach the tower. But we still knew how to fight the game, how to beat the game. Because it's like, why? Like, this is what we do. I'm a flirt. Incidentally, R. Kelly got a song called I'm a Flirt. Listen to the lyrics to I'm a Flirt. It's grooming. But you can't call the motherfucker I'm a groom. No, I'm a flirt. Soon as I see her walk in the club, I'm a flirt. Winking eyes at me while I'm rolling on them dubs, I'm a flirt. All of the flashy shit that we do, all of the shit that happens over these times is just so we can be in a position to groom women easier. So now they convinced us. You get women earlier. You get women that are younger than you so that way you can... don't mean shit. You just ain't got the game. When I used to pull the cougars, I'd be like, why do you have issues with men? They're just not on my level. How am I? How am I? Then I hear the conversations. I talk to the guys that, I get a mention of what the guy is like. And I'm like, he was never, like, I could tell he was a cornball. Like, he was a cornball. And all he did, he had a glow up in which he had the physical presentation to seduce you. You see what I'm saying? I ain't never need none of that shit. I ain't never need none of that shit because I had quote unquote game. Not realizing that game was seduction. Game was grooming. But you give it a different title depending on the age of the person. That's all. It's the culture, y'all. It's the culture, y'all. It's rape culture. And again, everybody doesn't fight Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung. You get to a point where, yeah, I could smack her booty. Yeah, she let me smack that thing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Pinch a titty or two. Put your titties in my face. Like, yo, there's I've had some off the wall shit where women will come to me and say DMs and all of the shit and this wild shit. Like, yo, you can get it. Get what? Get what? What is it that I can get? Because I've already put in the work. This is why one of the most dangerous things ever is like, one of the most dangerous things for me about being in a public space, a public eye, is that I'm too exposed and too accessible. So when women are having conversations, you know, based off of something they heard off my podcast, based off the transparency that I put on my social media page and everything, I'm like, but you still don't know me. I got to remind them that. It's like, I still got to, like, I don't care how much you like me. I got to get to like you. I don't know you. Just because you're willing to give it to me, that just means that the way this culture works, I've already done what I was supposed to do to open you up. So by and large, I'm supposed to be opening you up right now. But I'm not. Why? There's women right now that it's like I've had conversations with, like we DMing back and forth, and I still haven't asked for the number yet because I'm like, we're not there. Yeah, I've already groomed you. I've already seduced you into liking me. I got you. I got you in the back pocket, baby. But because of that, I won't put you in my back pocket. Because I understand how this culture really works now. I don't want another damaged, broken woman at my hands anymore. But some of us don't realize that that's all that we're going to create with this culture. That's all that we're wired to create within this culture. It's war, my nigga. It's war. And we're still moving as if we're in it. Now, but because we're not fighting the motherfuckers that beat us up, we're fighting other motherfuckers that are succumbing to the war too. So when I'm in the space and I'm telling you, hey, bro, we a part of rape culture. Nigga, not me. I ain't never raped nobody. I know you may not have raped nobody, but my nigga, again, you may not have made it to Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung, bro. May have been too hard for you to get that high. For some, because it's that hard for them, they go and fight Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn because they can't move up the ladder. They put cheat codes in. I didn't have game to seduce you. Catfishing? Catfishing is a real thing. And it's a real thing tied to that. Now I'm not who I say I am. But now when I meet you, but you love me for my core. You love me. You was corny. You groomed this person into liking you. This is a dangerous world we living in right now. Watching, because when you see the videos, women defending this shit. The same women that'll defend this shit will be the women that'll chastise the girls when something happens and they are violated. That's crazy. But we know where that part comes from. Slavery still. Because when you can no longer produce babies, that man that you just fell in love with, that you was breeding with for the longest, he now got to go to a younger girl. When did that shit stop? We wonder where the fast-ass little girl came from. Who groomed her? Who groomed her? Not only who groomed her, who didn't give her any game. Because you got to teach your daughters to be strong. We wonder why our girls, they're mature. They're not more mature. They're matured faster for that very reason. Because, baby girl, I can't protect you. I'm going to get beaten. So I got to teach you how to be strong. I got to teach you how to be strong. Stop teaching them how to be strong when the shackles came off. But the envy, the repetitive cycle of hating the younger girl because now the breeder in that man is still looking at her. Now I realize, nigga, we ain't got to breed no more. The fuck? We ain't got to breed no more. But we never stopped the bullshit to be able to breed. I have to mentally prepare myself. I have to spiritually prepare myself. I have to physically prepare myself to be able to go into this young child. After a while, there's no more preparation. It's just what's supposed to be done. Right? Now we get into the positions that we're in right now, and we in the spaces that we're in right now. And what do we have? Same shit. Same shit. And it's not even a different toilet. To where now we having videos and we're seeing this shit. Like, now, if something were to happen to any of those girls, they shouldn't have been in that man's face. They shouldn't have been doing all of this. They shouldn't have been doing all that. Y'all can't have it both ways, my nigga. What's well defined has to be well defined across the board. Across the board. But even deeper than that, as men, we need to stop being bitches. For real, for real. And what I mean by that is we need to stop being bitches in the context that we need to stop continuing to teach boys this bullshit. It's mind-boggling how we look at our girls and say these boys only want one thing, but we don't teach our boys to want more than one thing. You know why we know these boys only want one thing? Because we know the fucking culture, my nigga. But we have not made the connection between the cultures being the same. Because I ain't forcefully take it from somebody. I ain't got to take it. They just give it to me, this, that, and the third, after the seduction is there. I'm a very seducing motherfucker. And I learned that I was a seducing motherfucker. Now I know not to seduce anymore. And I know when I'm seducing, I still curve it down like, hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you get the motherfucker just from how you look. Nothing else has to happen. I was 15 years old, my nigga, getting chicks to suck me off in the movies first time I meet them. I'm bad with this shit. I'm a cold motherfucker. But you got to experience the aftermath of what could happen to you in order to say, hold up, this ain't right. This ain't right, homie. You got to be able to sit and listen to the women, to the stories of the women in your circle, the women in your circle. Y'all, this shit ain't normal, bruh. This ain't just the way men are. This is the way we're programmed and we're wired, and we've been like this for so fucking long, it's normal. This is the culture of what it is to be a man. Women, to tell you right now, women so wired to the culture too that they don't even realize that they contribute to the bullshit sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? A woman to say, I can't be with a man who ain't got no hoes. You know what it takes to have hoes, my nigga? I gotta be a groomer. I gotta be a pimp. I gotta be able to make women lower their guards around me to fuck with me. This is a true testament. Women don't fuck with you until they know that women are fucking with you. When when I pop up on social media and shit, and my comment, like, the women be like, who is this bitch in your comments? Who is this, that, and the third? Who is this, that, and the third? They watching. Women comment creep. They comment creep a lot. And then they try to find a way that they can stand out. That's crazy. That's crazy as fuck, but it's one of the realest realities ever. You know why it's one of the realest realities ever? Because the culture works like this to make it okay. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to say this and I'm going to start trying to wrap it up. I had this conversation where I made a post or whatever that I stole from one of my homegirls. And on the post, it was like, yo, throw me up against the wall and choke me. She made the post. So I took the post and I made it on my own. I was like, broskies, understand that when women say this, they have the man in mind that they envision that can do this, that it's already groomed them, prepared them to be choked and thrown up against the wall if they should so please. So now when I tell y'all, it's got to be, it's rape coaches, like, why is our sex so violent? Choke me, throw me up against the wall, smack me, do this, like, it's shit wild. Shit, wow. There's women I couldn't even bust down because of the stupid shit that they said and asked me to do. I'm like, no, nigga, the fuck? No, that's stupid. I'm not slapping you. I'm not choking you. I'm not doing no stupid shit like that. The fuck? I'm not beating you. I'm not doing no stupid shit like that. Why would I? How are you turned on by that? There has to be no, like, that parallelism made me think about people that get tattoos and don't feel it. I'm a motherfucker who gets tattoos and it don't hurt. What level of pain have you normalized to that tattoo feeling doesn't hurt? It don't matter where I get the tattoos at. I got tattoos on my bone, like where they say it's the most sensitive part inside of my arm. It didn't hurt. But I've also normalized pain to a level that a lot of people will never be able to understand. You see what I'm saying? So how do you define your sexual pleasure by that level of pain? Where in the psychology does that come from unless we're in a rape culture? You feel what I'm saying? So in the post, it's like Shorty saying, yeah, throw me up against the wall and choke me and do all this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yo, they're envisioning a man that they will allow to do that to him. But I said, the woman that you're likely envisioning, unless that's your lady already, she's not going to let you do that unless you groom her into that position. That's crazy. You have to groom her into that. You see what I'm saying? When we look at sex, it's like, yo, man, I brought the freak out of her. Did you? Like, what did you do? What did you really do? You know what I'm saying? What is the conquering in that shit that you did? I was talking to a woman one time. She was like, yo, I'm vanilla. I don't even think I said, I'm vanilla too. I'm vanilla, baby. I'm not, like, for me, pussy is enough. Yeah, I dabble in the head. Like, that's as far as I go, though. Pussy's enough. It's supposed to be enough. And I'm not about to, I remember like, when I started realizing, I was killing this chick. I was drilling her shit. Again, listen to the language we use when we have sex. You feel me? I fucked her so long and so good. So I thought her pussy swole on me. And we like, yeah, man, the coochie swole up and shit. Her body literally said no more. It rejected you. You was pounding it so much. I'm like, yo, that is a delicate thing. As I started learning anatomy and physiology and shit, I said, it ain't supposed to be that way. Same woman is like, I'm killing her from the back, right? Her sweet mates and everything, they hear me. Your neighbors know my name. Oh, shit, it's crazy. But we decide, we all go to lunch one day and we talking about it. And they were like, yo, you be too far. And I'm like, what? And Shorty looked and was like, yeah. I was like, why you didn't say nothing? She's like, because I ain't want to act like I couldn't take it. You couldn't. You weren't supposed to. I knew. And it was like, I knew I was too far. I don't talk about hitting the back of the fundus for nothing. You're not supposed to be there, nigga. You're not supposed to be there. But now when you continually going in and out, in and out, in and out at a fast rate, it fucks with the fundus. I fucked quite a few menstrual cycles on. You see what I'm saying? But you're not supposed to be doing that. That's not normal. That's not normal. That's a part of rape culture. So as she was like, yeah, you was too far. I was like, well, why didn't you tell me to stop? Because it was still good. It can't be still good if you screaming like that. Sex got significantly better when I stopped piping her like that. But once I stopped piping her like that, she started getting orgasms. It put two and two together for me. Women are not getting the orgasms they want or the orgasms they're supposed to get solely because the way culture has programmed us to fuck them. Once I stopped going so deep, started slowing down the pace, you feel me? It was different. It was different. She started coming a lot. Like a lot, nigga. I was like, damn, I didn't know you was like that. Like, fuck. Because psychologically, and even on a spiritual level, your nervous system can't regulate. When you understand the nervous system, it's called the pudendal nerve. The pudendal nerve is called the orgasm nerve, basically. So it's designed that when that nerve is stimulated, the orgasm is going to come. What do you have to be doing to make sure that nerve doesn't stimulate itself? during the time when it's automatically stimulated the whole time. You shift the body into fight or flight response. When you pounding pussy out, the way that you pound it out, regardless of how she's moaning and doing all this other shit, the body's in fight or flight response. She ain't gonna bust until you can put her in rest and digest. Why are you in fight and flight response during sex? Now, when we look at ourselves and we got erectile dysfunction. You ain't got erectile dysfunction. Your body is also in fight or flight response. Why are you in fight or flight response during sex? Nobody's ever thought to ask that question. Oh, I come quicker, this, that, and the third, because I'm stressed. I got a lot on my mind. No, because your nerves are too wound, even your pudendal nerve. Now your nerves are so wound, now you can't get up because your body has to compensate where it needs to now divert this energy because the nervous system is off, because it stays in fight or flight response. Sex is supposed to be done in a rest and digest response, not fight or flight. But again, why the fuck are we in fight or flight response? Because all this shit is motherfucking rape culture. And don't forget to check out Cafe Clothing, formerly Just Scenes merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all of the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Cafe Clothing. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Safe to say I'm back. All right. Portal's open, baby. I'm going to let this shit rock. We back in motion. But yeah, man. I know I didn't spend as much time talking about that video, but that video was just a catalyst. This needed to be said. Like, I don't think we really sit and think about that shit, yo. Like, I used to look at the women I had sex with, and niggas used to always tell me, yo, if the pussy tight, you got to make sure the pussy tight, this, that, and the third. Nah, I've never had sex with a woman whose pussy was tight. Even the woman that I was just talking about where I was like, you going too deep and shit, it opened up like a lotus flower for me every time. I just fell in it. Now we wonder why we come quick. Because now when the pussy's tight, now you have to squeeze the penis harder to try to make it more erect, when you're supposed to be able to relax it enough for the erection to happen on its own. That's why we start needing pills and shit. But when a woman is actually wants you inside of her, her body will acknowledge it. Every woman that I've ever had sex, and like I said, I've lost count at some point. I can't give you a number. But every woman that I've ever had sex with wanted me in her. Every one of them. But I had to ask myself why. Was I that seductive? What did I do to get them to the point where it's just like, yo, I want you in me? Not just her words, but her body says it. It opens the fuck up. That comes from being in a space where you move her into a space where she's 100% comfortable with you, which is the ultimate goal that we go for when we're flirting, when we're courting, when we're doing all these things. It's grooming. The problem is some of us aren't at a point to groom them to that level. This goes hand in hand to what I was talking about the older women and all that shit. Like, that goes together. The fact that every woman that I've ever had sex with, they wanted me in them, is why I can get older women. They should get like that too. But I'm celibate now, so I don't be fucking with them and shit. But they tell me. I rub one out to you. I was like, yo, when? Like, nigga, who's on the phone? Weirdo. Why you ain't let me hear it? Focus, get serious. This is the culture we in, y'all. This is the culture we in. It's dangerous, y'all. This shit is dangerous as fuck, my nigga. I don't think we take the time to really understand what kind of culture we're in right now. And why as men it's so easy to get caught up in this bullshit. You feel me? Because we definitely caught up in this bullshit. It ain't not a single thing you can do, say, justify. We're caught up in this bullshit, bro. And we're so caught up and wired in the bullshit that we do extra stupid shit. But we don't know it's dumb shit that we doing. It's trauma. Damn sure ain't euphoria. But it's trauma that we made feel good. You feel me? So now, when you have the people that end up fighting Shokan and Shang Tsung, how do you get to that point? You can't handle rejection. You feel entitled. I seduced you. I seduced you. Go on a date. Is this check split or is it together? Am I getting lucky tonight? No? All right, well, it's split. The fuck? I was here to groom you. The fuck? That's why we go on these dates. That's why we do this shit. That's why it's like I don't do the cliche shit. That's why I'm so glad that I learned to practice celibacy, because it helped me see the shit for real. It helped me see how programmed I am, how programmed we all are, to where we don't even know it is, because it's like, as long as she say yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Like, as long as she say yeah, but under what conditions? Oh, let's Netflix and chill. You want to come over? You want to do this? Like, there's certain things you got to set up in order to make her comfortable. It's grooming. She just of your age. She just in your bracket. Ain't no different. And when the guys get to the point where they're not able to actually groom anymore, what do? They go younger. They go younger. They go younger to the capacity that it's like, you know what? She legal. When you look at DJ Academics, he's a motherfucker who said that shit. He's like, if she got her, she in college, she got her ID, she ain't too young for me, she's legal. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that nigga. He can't seduce nobody. Look at Drizzy shit. You got to go back to Degrassi Drake. I want nobody checking for Degrassi Drake, bro. But that's when Drake was Drake. Now you look at them 400 mil and the money and all of this shit. Like, look at, why don't his relationships last? Drake didn't pull some of the baddest ones out there. But he couldn't do it right. Because some people don't have the full capacity to be in that space. So when we look at grooming, it's like, yo, let me get the young girls. It's easy. You feel me? Jay-Z got a song where he's talking about 21 and older. Let another nigga molder. This is a culture, y'all. Niggas do this shit. Because they get in positions where they can't do it for somebody their age. How fucking scary is that, bro? Because now you have to worry about whether or not somebody's even has the quote unquote game to be able to do the shit. This is why you end up having to treat them like hoes. This is why you have to look at them a certain way. You have to try to humble them and make them beneath, because my grooming has to make you fuck with me heavy. This shit crazy, bro. This shit crazy, but it's fucking real, bro. If you've never read So Frail 3, then chances are you probably never thought about this. If you read So Frail 3, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You've already seen, like, you see how this shit is playing out. When is it going to stop? That's my question. When are we going to decide to stop it? Yeah, we can have all these podcast topics about relationship this, relationship that, but like, when are we going to stop being in a space where we're mentally wired to do the shit? We're still mentally wired to do this shit, bro. And if we don't change it, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse, because we're at a space now where dudes can't even, we're at the point where Pac said we have the race of babies that hate the ladies that make the babies. We're that generation. See what I'm saying? This is different. And if we don't decide to truly put our best foot forward and we don't decide to actually do what the fuck we're supposed to be doing, the shit's gonna keep playing out the way it's playing out, my nigga. This shit is dangerous. Now, when you add a sense of entitlement to it, bitch, I groomed you right. What you mean I can't get none? Bitch, I groomed you right. Give me your fucking phone number. Bitch, I did this. Bitch, cause you booty. You spoils of war. You're not supposed to reject me. The fuck wrong with you? Cause this is patriarchy. This is misogyny. This is the culture, my nigga. And these are the effects of the shit. It's ugly out here, bro. It's ugly as fuck out here. Grooming is a problem. But until we address the roots, the fruit is always going to be justifiable. The root of this shit is because we're tied to rape culture. I get it. Some people may not have these tendencies. Some people can get. That may be true, but until we know that this culture is extinguished and it doesn't exist anymore, then we can't make that assertion. And when we see men having girls take their hair out in class because they're middle schoolers, when we see men having the girls paint their face, like, nigga, again, watch a documentary on pedophiles, bro, and watch how they tell you how they get them. Everything you see in that video, that nigga did. Everything. Sometimes we always talk about, and this is one of the things I hate about being pro-black, is because we always say we're trying to tear a black person down. This ain't got shit to do with race, for real, bro. This is a moral situation. Certain shit you just shouldn't do. And you recording it so I could save face, so I can protect myself. But when you have to put yourself in a situation where you have to protect yourself, that means you're going into danger knowingly. When I was young, my brother, I was like 16 or 17 years old. My brother said, I'm going to get you a gun. Why? Because I'm running the streets. Nigga, what that got to do with me? I don't need this. You're going to need protection. Why? Because you're making shit dangerous? Nah, it's because, nigga, I was 17 because you like, yo, you 17 now. It's time for you to get a gun. Nigga, no, I don't do shit that I don't live dangerous shit. I'm not out here doing dangerous shit. But your dangerous shit is now going to trickle down into me. So I now need protection. Why do you fit? Like, do you see how that shit works? Danger precedes protection. So when you acknowledge that you need protection from something, or you need to set yourself up to protect yourself from it, you know you're walking into danger. So when this man says, I'm recording these videos so I can put them out, it's like, well, he's recording this, that. I'm protecting myself because I know I'm putting myself into danger. Now, am I putting myself into danger because I'm dangerous or not? That's the real question right there. Because you watch the video, the hair was taken out by all of the girls while the video in one sitting of the video. Why you just didn't take it out last night like you started to? He literally said, I was going to take it out last night because I had a hair appointment. Now I asked him to take my hair out for me. Nigga, you're a teacher. I'm not trying to be funny and shit on you. What the fuck were you doing at night where you couldn't take your own fucking hair out? I was probably grading papers. It took all of them. They took all of your hair out in the last minutes of class, my nigga. Even had a ponytail in it by the end, before the bell rung. You couldn't take your hair out from 9:45 to 10:15. I used to have braids. Had hair past my shoulders to my back. I would know that my mama has to do my hair that weekend. I would start taking it out on Friday night. I never forget it. I would take it out. I would start taking it out before I was fifth grade. So I would start taking it out before the bell rung. Class is done. It's like we are out of school like 3 o'clock. By like 2:30, I'll start taking my hair out. By the time I get on the bus, my hair in afro. And it's just me with 2 hands, not multiple bodies. It's just me. You see what I'm saying? Like, Like, nigga, who you think you're playing with? Who do you think you're playing with? And the fact that we're so oblivious to it because we want to give a pass because it's like everybody ain't like that. You're right. Everybody isn't like that. But when the culture programs you to move a certain way by default, you got to be careful with who the fuck you're dealing with. Yeah, the fruit may be different from time to time, but if the fruit is still coming from the same root of a tree, we got a problem. There's no reason why those girls should have been in that man's head. And the fact that no men are the ones commenting on this, and then the fact that he's saying you men are projecting. No, we're not projecting anything. We're acknowledging the culture we exist in, nigga. We just never wanted to put the words to the shit. That's why we know that's why we know these boys only want one thing. But we don't want to admit that it's the culture that we all get brainwashed into from the time we're born. But this shit is starting to piss me off and hurt my feelings. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there, bro. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And our sons, the world is yours. That's your baby. You can need to teach the motherfucker to start fucking when he's 15. You feel me? And beat a motherfucker like this. Beat a motherfucker that climbs the ladder. Nigga, as long as you don't fight Shokan or Shang Tsung, nigga. As long as she's legal, nigga. So as long as you don't fight Shang Tsung, as long as you don't fight Shokan, Shang Tsung, and Goro, you good. You good. Nah, we got to break that shit. Make sure our boys are aware of what the fuck the culture is when we're doing it. Make sure they understand the morality as opposed to the legality. You feel me? They can't just, this is not something you could just turn on and turn off. And we got to stop waiting until we have daughters to make it a priority. It's that even more priority, the fact that we have sons. Address that. We need to focus on that and focus on them. And make sure they break the cycle, bro. Teach them about this culture before they become a piece of this culture. You feel what I'm saying? The music is already going to have them doing it. The music is already, the TV, everything. It's going to already program them to do it. It's on you to make sure the program does not download correctly in their operating system. But I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And we back. I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.